Once you've been working with After Effects for a while, you'll be familiar with all these different panels, and you'll know which ones you use more frequently than the others. When that happens, you want to save yourself a custom workspace. Now, if you remember, the workspace is the arrangement of all the different panels, like how large they are and where they are and so on, and you can save a custom workspace to make life easier when working in After Effects. Now let's have a look at how to rearrange these panels first. If you move your cursor on top of any panel, anywhere, let's say here inside the composition panel, and if you just go and click anywhere, you see that this is the panel that's now active. This blue line here tells us that you've just activated the panel. If I do the same for the project panel, you'll see that the blue highlight goes around that panel. And the same applies to pretty much any panel here. So if I click on the timeline or the layer area, the timeline gets highlighted. If I click on the character panel, that gets highlighted. And same applies to pretty much any panel. So if I click on here, you see the exact same things happening. Now, in order to change the position of the panels, you can actually click on the names and start dragging them. So if I push the info panel down like this, that's where it will appear now. And if I want this panel to be on the side, let's say for example the left side, I can just click on the name info and just drag this towards left. And you'll see that this panel wants to snap itself onto the interface. This is called docking. So if I now move this to the left, this green panel here means that the info panel is going to go all the way to the left of the interface. Whereas if you see this as just a blue highlight, like this, the panel now is going to go to the left of the project panel. So if I let go here, you'll see that the info panel will now appear to the left of the project panel and not necessarily to the left of the entire interface. So if I click and drag this to the left, all the way, you see when we have this green line, if I let go here, you'll see now that the info panel is to the left of the entire interface, including the timeline. Now, to take something back out, let's say for example I want the info panel to go back to where it was, all I had to do is to click on the name again, and then just drag this back to where it came from, and if I let go here, that's going to dock the info panel back exactly where it was before. I can of course move this up and down, just like I did before. And also I can resize these panels by moving my cursor down here. And when the cursor turns into this icon here, where you have the double arrows, you just go click, and then you can make this larger like that, or smaller. And that applies to pretty much any panel as well again. So if I come down here, between these two panels, I can click and drag this left and right. And I can do the same for the timeline and the composition panel and also the project panel at the same time. So if I move my cursor here, I can just click here when the cursor turns into a four-headed arrow. There. And then I can click and drag around. And if I had the fourth panel there as well on one corner, this would actually start affecting 4 panels at the same time. If you want a panel not to dock itself to the interface, for example if I click and drag the preview panel around, you'll see that it wants to dock itself to the interface. But let's say for example you have the second monitor and you want to put this panel onto the second monitor, what you can do is to hold down the command key as you drag this, or the control key on Windows, and this becomes a floating panel now. So this is called the free floating panel and it's undocked. So I can now place this on the second monitor or anywhere I like on the interface. Of course I can resize this as well, so if I just click on the corners, I can resize this to any shape and size I like. There you go. And I can make this a little wider. And maybe I can put this onto the second monitor, which you can't see now. To put a panel back to where it came from, all you have to do again simply is to click on the name and then drag the panel around. And again, it will start docking itself to the interface as long as you're not holding down the command key. So right now I'm not holding down anything. I'm just going to click and drag and maybe let go here in the middle and there. In order to get rid of a panel, all you have to do is either right click on the name of the panel or pretty much anywhere on this top line here. Or you can simply click on this button here and then just choose Close Panel. If I do that, the preview panel disappears. I can do the same for, let's say, the info panel. So if I just go and right click here maybe, I can then just go and close the panel and it's gone. If you want to bring back any of those panels that you closed, all you have to do is to go to the window menu at the top, and this is going to be a long list of all the available panels. In the window menu, the names with the ticks on the left hand side are the ones that are currently visible, and the ones without the ticks are the invisible ones. So I remember now I closed the info panel, so all I had to do is to go back here and click on the word info, and that brings the info panel back. And I can do that for pretty much any panel. So if I go to here, window, and come down to the preview option here, that's going to bring up my preview panel again. As I mentioned earlier, after a while, you'll find yourself using some of these panels more frequently than the others. When that time comes, you'll make those panels visible and almost all the other panels invisible, and then you'll save that as a custom workspace. And to do that, you go up here again to the window menu, and you come down to workspace, and then this is a list of all the preset workspaces that Adobe thought would be useful if you're doing this kind of work. For example, if you're doing some effects work, you'd be using the effects workspace. If you're doing some color correction, you'd be using the color workspace. Or of course, you can customize your workspace and use your own. Now, we have already customized this a little bit, so let's just go and save this. So if I come down here where it says save as new workspace, and then it asks us for the name, so let's go and call this my workspace. And then once we go and hit OK, that gets saved as my workspace, and you can actually see it up here now as well. And as well as appearing here, it's also going to be in the window menu on the workspace. You see it in this list here as well. You can create as many of these as you like, and if you then wanted to delete that, all you have to do is to go to Edit Workspaces, and then select the workspace you want to remove here, and then just hit delete. Also, by the way, in the bar, these are the workspaces that we were seeing. This is the bar that it's referring to. So if you don't want to see some of the workspaces in the bar, we can just go and select the individual workspace and then delete it from the bar. So if I delete my small screen workspace and then hit OK, you see that the small screen here is no longer around. The other advantage of saving a custom workspace is that when the things go wrong, you can bring this workspace back really easily. What I mean by that is this. For example, as you work, let's say you put the preview panel here, and then maybe the info panel down here, and then maybe you make this a little bit larger, like that. And then I'll randomly move these panels around. Let's say the project panel goes here to the left, and this looks nothing like it did before. And like I said, sometimes you do this on purpose, so you have more space for some specific panels and less for some others. And sometimes this happens inadvertently. Regardless, if you come up here again to the window menu and then go to workspace, right towards the bottom it says reset and it tells you the current workspace's name. It says reset to saved layout. If I just go and click on this, this takes the layout, the workspace, back to the state that it was saved in. So if I just go and click, this was the interface when we saved the workspace. So hopefully, now you can see the importance of creating and saving custom workspaces in After Effects in order to speed up your workflow.